What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, I wanted to talk about, I kind of don't ever want to talk about layoffs, but they happen. It's happening. I mean, actually, I didn't really read about it. I didn't read into it. I heard Mike Ybarra might have got let go, or maybe it was like, hey, you got a choice, what you want to do, and he opted to retire. Kind of like Jim Ryan. Wow, dude just did a burnout. That was kind of cool. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, look, burnouts happen. The whole thing about this, I mean, the donkey unicorns and the ponies are actually using it, are using it for, console war fuel. Especially, I think I saw Next Gen 720 or 8K, whatever the hell he's calling himself these days, Otis. He's definitely using that. But the reality of the situation is that the pandemic bubble happened. And so basically, when the pandemic happened, everybody was home, they started hiring like crazy, and they hired too many people, and they caused the bubble. Now the bubble's bursting, and they have to lay off a lot of people who they hired during these times. So yeah, it happens. I mean, pandemics don't happen all the time, but the shockwave of it, is what we're seeing now. So, and it's across all industries. It's not just video games. It's across everything. So, well, for the most part, I'd say. I wouldn't say everything, but you look at that. You look at the housing market. Is that a bubble? What's going on with that? There's a whole bunch of things that the pandemic kind of caused. But anyway, video games. That's why we're here, right? So, yeah, that's happening. I'll read into it. Maybe I'll talk about it if there's anything of note in there. But it's the same old. It's part of the cycle of development, jobs, working, all these things. And especially if you don't have a union, then it's a lot harder to keep your job if you don't have a union. They can let you go. And that's what happens with these. Like, a lot of video game companies don't have unions. Microsoft is allowing talks and all these things, but I don't believe they have a union either yet. So, the job that I have a union, so they can't let me go. That's one of the guarantees. It's like, you can't fire me because you need to make a certain amount of money, or you need to make your books look good and all that stuff. They can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a bit of a safety when it comes to that, job security. But, when you go to be in the video game industry and you want to follow your passions and you want to, get that dream job, that's one of the hazards. That's one of the things you got to think about. That's why it's I would say it's kind of cool to be independent, because you can't get fired, if that makes sense. I mean, you could, fail and go out of business, but you can't get fired. You can't sit there and just like one day, you're out, Bob. You're like, what? Huh? I got bills to pay. Sorry, Bob, you got to go. It's up to you. It's on you as an indie to, do what you love and everything, but also think about the business side and say, okay, what do we need to do to not guarantee, but, make a product that people want to play and people want to spend money on. And unfortunately, I know a lot of us like to think about, video games are fun and and all the evil corporations are out there. That evil corporation side of the video game industry is necessary. It's important because, not the evil part, but the corporation part, because they need to make money in order to pay their employees in order to make these games. It's like animation. The Disney animators need to be, well, back in the day, well, it's the same today, but they need to be paid so you can look at, watch The Little Mermaid. You can watch Mulan or Moana. Did you hear they're doing a live action version of Moana? I don't know if that's true or not. I saw that on shorts or something. I was like, what? Really? Okay. We'll see. It might be all right. Anyway, so, you know, if you're getting into video games and you want to be part of the industry, you have to realize that you have to look, realize, recognize, and be okay with the business side of the game. Yes, you can be a creative and you can do all that stuff, but also have a little compartmentalized part of your brain looking at the numbers, realizing what's going on, looking at the market, looking at the industry, seeing the trends. Now, if you're just a lowly prop maker, you're just making objects, then, you know, whatever. Or if you just like work for hire or something like that, then you probably don't have to worry about anything for the most part. But, you know, if you are like a CEO or you're a creative director and all that stuff, or if you're just the one person making a game, you know, it's yes, it is financially risky for you, but the rewards, if your game is a success, is so much greater than a giant corporation like Activision or Sony making a game and putting $300 million into it and not getting barely that back. You know, you gotta look at Vampire Survivors, dude, right? I mean, he started as one person. I'm sure it's a bigger team now, but, and the same with Minecraft, the same with a lot of these little games that blow up, and, you know, they're good to go. You know, Notch sold Minecraft for $2.6 billion or something like that. And at the time in 2014, everybody's like, dang, that's a lot of money for Minecraft? Why did Microsoft buy that Minecraft for all that money? Everybody thought Phil Spencer was out of his damn mind. But Phil knows games. He knows about coding. He sees the potential in certain things. And he saw that Minecraft was just super big, super popular. Everybody was glomming onto it. Kids, adults, everybody. And he was like, let's go. I see it, let's go. You don't have a lot of people like that in the video game industry, like Phil Spencer, because Jim Ryan damn sure wasn't it. Sean Layden, he was better, but I don't think he had it either. Who was before? Andrew House? Nah. The other Phil, I forgot his name. He's bald, the tall bald dude. Harrison, Phil Harrison. Was it Harrison? Anyway, who else was before? I'm trying to go through all of them. I think not Shuei Yoshida. I don't think he ever. Well, was he? I don't remember if he was ever. He might have been, maybe. And then Ken Kutaragi was I think the PlayStation 3 Ridge Racer Giant Enemy Crab. Remember? I think that was Ken Kutaragi. Anyway, yeah. You know, it's like I said, it sucks, but that's the nature of the beast. That's the nature of the industry, and you know, it's important to recognize it. It's important to say, okay, it's there, it sucks, but you know, let's try to hope that, you know, whoever is affected is gonna be alright, basically. Not so much like, oh, these guys are rich, they'll be alright. You know, I mean, getting fired sucks regardless of where your status is and you know, monetarily speaking. But it helps if you have billions or millions of dollars in the bank. Then you can be like, maybe I don't need to do video games anymore. I have enough money. It's like I was listening to the interview with Cliff Bleszinski. It was Xbox. It was an Xbox podcast. I can't remember the name of it. But he was the dude was interviewing Cliff. Cliffy B. Clifford Bleszinski. That's what he goes by now. And he went basically through like his whole, from Jazz Jackrabbit to Unreal to Gears, Jawbreakers, wow, Lawbreakers, and now he's doing a comic and stuff. Alpha Dog. I forgot what it's called now. It's about a post-apocalyptic with the dogs, and it's kind of interesting how he told it. Anyway, the point is that at one point, Cliffy B was married, right? Cliffy B got a divorce, right? Cliffy B's ex-wife took all his monies. She took the Unreal Unreal Tournament money, and she took the everything before Gears. She took, and when he went to do Gears of War, he put a lot of some of that stuff that he went through into that game. A lot of it is like metaphors and stuff for other things. I think the Gears originally with the Lambent and stuff and the glowy goopy stuff is basically it was an allegory for the oil and the oil companies and the oil corporation, the greed that goes on along with that. And I was like, oh, okay, I mean, I never really thought of it deeply like that, but him as a creative, using that as a basis, even though I didn't think of it or realize it, it still makes it more relatable because kind of subconsciously you kind of connect it because you understand what the oil industry is and the greed and gas prices, and it goes up and down and up and down. Oh, it's $6 now. Oh, it's $2 now. Oh, like, how's it going up and down? What's going on? Oh, we're not going to make so many barrels, and then the prices go up. It's like, what? How can you stop production just because you want more money? Yep, that's how it goes. So, his commentary on certain things in the Gears franchises 1, 2, and 3 is cool. It's cool for him. It's cool to listen to him talk about it, and that's like kind of what I mean when I was talking about creatives and all this stuff. And yes, he had Boss Key, and he was trying to make these games, and they failed. And he's like, you know what? I made enough money from Gears and from all this stuff that I can do some other stuff. He wants to do some other. He's doing a freaking musical. He's doing a lot. He's doing comic books, musicals. He's doing everything but video games. And he keeps saying this too. He says, yo, if you want to hire me to consult on the new Gears, boopity boop. And I'm like, you know what? That might not be a bad idea. I mean, they could use him. They could hire him to consult, pay him whatever, and not use any of his ideas if they're whack. But if they're not whack, I think he's a decent creator, to say the least. I think he's way more better than decent, obviously. But, you're only as good as the last thing you put out, right? So, I think that the problem with, I keep saying Jawbreakers. I think the main problem with Lawbreakers is that he was talking shite in, I guess it was Twitter, and he dissed the Xbox community for the most part. He played into the console war stuff, and he played on the PlayStation side, and he didn't realize that PlayStation has a curse when it comes to third-party exclusives, if you will. There aren't too many that are super successful, if you will. I mean, they may sell a lot here and there, but they're not anything like, Power World or something like that. So, he kind of dug a hole, and he put his whole company into it, and he buried them because he was talking shit. If he would have just played nice with gamers as a general, not trying to be a bad boy and say, oh, blah, 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 y'all, whatever. I forgot what he said, but it was really bad against Xbox gamers because Lawbreakers was PlayStation exclusive. Or the beta was exclusive, because I remember playing it on Xbox, so it wasn't exclusive, but I think it was an exclusive. They had exclusive time, right? It was a timed exclusive words, and so yeah, he kind of messed that up. And then he had whatever Heights it was called, Super Duper Heights, Funky Butt Heights, I forgot what it was called. And I played that. That was goofy, but that didn't do anything either. It was a battle royale, but it was interesting because it had like a grid section, and the grid pieces would close in instead of the circle. I was like, all right, that's pretty good. That's cool. But yeah, creatives are super important, and this whole talk with AIs and all this stuff, everything's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it, because AIs they need data. They can't come up with original ideas. It's impossible for an AI. For you to program an AI with zero data, that's like having a human, right? A human baby. It has zero input, whether it's optical input, audio input, nothing. It gets no data, if you will, for its whole life. What do you think it's gonna do? I mean, it may grunt or something. It's like, oh, I can make noises with my mouth. Is it going to speak a language? No, it didn't learn a language. Is it going to know how to draw? No, because it hasn't seen anything. It's just been in blackness or whiteness, probably blackness. I don't know. That's a bad example. The deeper I went into that, I was like, nope. But I kept going. Tenacious I am. So, don't worry about AI. Creatives are cool. It's kind of cool, like, Kojima, Jordan Peele, that whole team up, plus other people too. I'm like, yo, that's kind of cool. So, there is not like a drought or a scarcity of creative people in the industry. I think that the fanboys on both sides need to just calm down and let them cook, let them make good stuff so we can play it wherever it ends up, I mean, the console war is all fine and dandy, but I don't want anything that we do as gamers or fans to affect the production and the output of games that are fly. Games that could be like, oh, yo, this is the best game I ever played, or yo, I was going through a rough time in my life. I played this game, literally saved my life. You know what I'm saying? There's so many people who have that story, and I don't want any foolishness happening in the video game space to mess that up for anybody. It's simple requests for the most part. I mean, it's not a simple request, but you know what I'm saying. It's just like, at a certain point you need to be like, all right, this trolling is a little bit enough. Let me just chill for a second or whatever. And I understand you have a fan base that you want to try to bow down to and to accommodate, but at the end of the day, it's just fun and games, and it is just video games. And so sometimes we do need to take a break from the trolls or the trolling, but I think that we should still have it because it does make this whole goofy stuff that we do a little more interesting. It may not be necessary, of course, but I think it's better than just having saccharine, oh, everybody agrees, or, come on, son. A little bit of adobo in your video game is all right. We need a little bit of spicy spice, you know what I mean? But yeah, I know this was just a random ranting type of video, not too focused on anything that anybody's doing, just general thoughts of nonsenseness. That's not a word. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let me know in the comments below. Go in the comments and just spout out whatever you guys think in your brain right now. It doesn't even have to do with anything that I said in this video. Just boop, say it out there, and we can have a discussion. I could possibly talk about it on the next video. I do that sometimes. If you ask me a question, I'll posit it out there, and we go boop, and we can talk about it. It's all good. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about things. Sorry. And I appreciate y'all. Remember to like and subscribe. We are about Shibababa 80 from 600, which is cool, but I forgot the number for the 3,000 watch hours. Need more watch hours, basically, for their formula to work, and I can, cross the threshold of being a real YouTuber. I don't know if I'm a real YouTuber. I don't think I ever considered myself a real YouTuber. Technically, I guess I am, whatever. But yeah, I think it's like, let me think, beep, boop, 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 beep, boop. It's under 400. It's 420 or something. No, it's not 420, but it's under 400 or something like that. I don't know. But that's cool. It'll happen. It's just a matter of time. It's a numbers game at this point. And like I said, I appreciate we're slowly climbing, and like I said, I got 2 songs for y'all. They're coming, and I'm gonna make another declaration or whatever you want, another promise that I will promise it will happen. Let's say it that way. When I reach the 3,000 watch hours, and comfortably pass it so that I don't go beneath it anymore. Obviously, that's kind of has to do with subscribers and stuff. Another song. So once I hit the 3, boom. Now, that's not to say I'm not going to start working on the other 2. I mean, I've started working on the other 2, obviously. But I will definitely finish those, and I'm not gonna release them all at once. They'll be sequential, obviously, because it's just better that way. And I cannot do three music videos at the same. It's not gonna happen. I have one video pretty much done, kind of, sort of. I do want to change it a little bit, but that one's kind of done. I gotta just finish some things on that. But that one's the most done. But I had to postpone it because of timing. So that one's okay. And I have one before and one after, and that's how it's gonna go, basically. So the middle video will be the video that I had basically finished last year when I first announced this, and it's just been sitting in it's like when Nintendo has a game and it's done, and they're like, yeah, we're just gonna hold on to this for about 29 months until it's time to release it. That's what I'm doing with this one song. Luckily, it's not I don't spit out a lot of pop culture references in my music, so that it's like dated automatically. Like a lot of people back in the day, they put the year in their songs, and I was like, don't do that, son, because it's, and then it's over. Then the year's done, and then, oh, that's an old song from whenever. So anyways, I'll ramble again. Appreciate y'all, and I'll talk to y'all on the next one. Took the wait.